so we can kind of get going on it. So today we're talking about WordPress as kind of a whole. So Carrie asked me just to kind of give an overview of WordPress, how it works, and it's specifically in terms of Moxi because our Moxi websites are CB Great Lakes, Schmidt, Ohio, CB Florida Homes, Premier, and St. Croix are joining that platform soon. They're all on the platform they're on is called WordPress. So because a lot of our agents are doing custom pages, because we're doing a lot of trainings on that sort of stuff, I believe the idea was just to get everybody comfortable, at least a little bit more comfortable with what that looks like, what the back end of Moxi looks like, and just kind of see it a little bit in action. So I truly am, and I say this a lot, but I truly am kind of winging this one. So if you guys have ideas or questions as we go, please let me know, because I want to make sure that we're covering anything about the Moxi website portion, any questions you may have on that. So right before we get started, I kind of want to give you an overview of what, and I'm going to try to mute people as I go through as they join. But basically what WordPress is it is the foundation that a website is built on. And the metaphor, which may not be a perfect one that I like to use, is that WordPress is kind of like just the concrete of a building. And you can make a lot of different things with concrete. You can make, skyscrapers, you can make stadiums, you can make houses, parking garages, but they're all built with like the same main material. So WordPress is a lot like that, where it is the platform, it is the foundation of a website, but there are a lot of things that can be done with it. So when you go into the back end of Moxi, which we're going to do in a second here, you basically enter WordPress. So the reason I keep using that word is because you'll hear some people say WordPress, you'll hear some say Moxi website and stuff like that. They ultimately all sort of mean the same thing. So right now I'm logged into Moxi as JD, and this right here is still Moxi. So I've got I've got present up here, I've got engage. Right now I'm on the screen where you can, let me show you my screen because that would probably help so you guys know what I'm talking about here. So right here, like I said, you can see that I'm on the back end of Moxi. You can see present, you can see engage, my website directory, all of the about info right here in the middle. And if I were to go to, let me hide that, there we go. If I were to go to my website in a second here, we will we will be in WordPress. So this is it. This is the back end of the website. Just to kind of give an overview, this is what thisisourlist.com is run on. This is what the listing rotator is built on. So WordPress is a very commonly used platform where you can do a lot with it. Now, outside of this part of it, especially the site pages, which we'll take a look at in a second, outside of this, when you go into Page Builder, this is really the only time you're ever going to need to worry about WordPress. So I just want to go through the common things that our agents are working through, the common places that they will go within WordPress that it would probably be helpful for you to know. And then we're going to play around with Page Builder a little bit just so you can kind of see what that's really like. So as you can see, I hope most, if not all of you have been on this particular screen before. This is the agent website kind of homepage of WordPress. So this common tasks list, right? These are the things that when we did our Moxi 101s, these are the things that we tell people, hey, here's the things you definitely want to do. You definitely want to make sure that you've got your favorite style picked out, you've got your homepage all planned out. You can create some custom searches, custom links, add testimonials. This is all going to be done in the back end. So thankfully, a lot of this back end stuff is pretty, let me mute that person. I think everybody else should be muted. It's pretty user-friendly for the most part. And the parts that aren't user-friendly, Moxi has done a good job of kind of covering up and making it easier for us to use. So the first thing that I want to show us is the site pages. So if you see on the left-hand side over here, there are a lot of little settings and a lot of little menus, and we're not really going to worry about any of them, but besides the ones that we go over today, which is specifically really site pages. So if I hover over this, you'll see all pages shows up. So I'm going to click on that. And what we're looking at here is basically an overview of all of the active and inactive pages on my JD website. So let me show you what. Keep muting. I get pretty thrown off when there's audio. Okay, so it's pretty. Let me show you this. So this is the back end, and I'm also going to get up my JD account, my website. So when we look at this screen, you see along this top bar here, my About Me, my Grand Rapids Luxury Homes, testimonials, properties, buying, selling, and so on. When we go over to the site pages, that is reflected here. So we got home, we got About Me, Grand Rapids area luxury homes, testimonials, properties. So what we see here is the order of pages on an agent's website. So again, you'll see home, About Me, testimonials, Grand Rapids, and it's reflected up here. And you may even see that within the menus themselves, you've got these little sub-menus. My bio, contact me. When I go over here to the site, that shows up as a menu. So when I hover over About Me, it's got my bio and contact me right there. So first thing I want to do is show us how to rearrange these and stuff like that. I think it might have been just last week I did a Moxi Monday on the blog, I'm pretty sure. So we'll go, there is a video on that right now on the Schmidt Video Classroom. So, but for now, we're really specifically just going to talk about adding and rearranging and stuff. So, like I said, this part is pretty simple in terms of rearranging. All you got to do is click and drag. So if I go down here and I go, I really want my search new construction page to be right there at the top, at the front of the navigation, I'm just going to hold it down and I'm going to drag it up. I'm going to scroll a little bit and I'm going to put it right there. So now I've put that second, the search new construction lots. And then let's say I want to take properties. I actually want properties to be at the end of the list because I think there's some good visibility there. I'm going to take properties, and you can see it takes the whole sub-menu with it. So the property search, the active listings, sold listings. And again, I'm just going to drag that down to the bottom, put it right here. Whoops, put it right here. And boom, now I've got it down there. So the last thing we want to make sure we do in the lower right corner down here is click Publish. So we click Publish, and you'll see up here it says Navigation Updated. So if I go back to my page, and all I'm gonna do is refresh this page. I refresh it, and we can see those changes reflected. We can see the search new construction is right there now, and we can see the properties has been dragged to the back. So, a navigation bar is one of the first things somebody's eyes are drawn to when they go to a website. So the order of things, how things are described is really important. The one that I have for this test page, this is far too busy. There are far too many things up here. Obviously things like my blog too is not important. But this should, if this were a real active agent site, I would recommend this being cleaned up. So let's take a look at how we can add these real quick. Again, pretty self-explanatory thing, or at least pretty easy to find. If you look up here, it literally says Add New. So we click Add New, we're going to have a few options. It's going to default to Custom Page. This is what we're going to go over in a few minutes, how to make a custom page. But if I click on the menu, I've got a blog page, I've got a custom search, which is a specific search on the website. I could make it be condos in Vero Beach that are $250 and up or something like that, and I can have a link for that right there. Or maybe it's like luxury homes in Cleveland, right? I can make a very specific search. Menu link, this is one that we'll see used a lot. Menu link is basically I want a link in the menu that takes people somewhere outside of my website. So I want people to click on this and be sent somewhere else. For example, maybe an agent is a luxury certified agent and they have a profile on ColdwellBankerLuxury.com. I could theoretically click menu link, click submit, and then it's going to ask me what do I want the title to be, which is basically what do we want to appear up here, what text. Don't want it to be too long, so maybe I would literally put luxury profile, and then right here I would just paste that link in, whatever that, ColdwellBanker or luxury.com/JD. I don't think this is obviously not a real link, but I would just put that link right there. I like to check this box. I like that if someone clicks on it, it opens in a new tab, as opposed to, let me see if I actually have an example of that. I don't think I have anything linking out here. Let's see. Yeah. So if you'll notice right here, guys, I went to Holland Local News and I hovered over it where it says Holland Events. And when I click on that, it actually opened a new tab on my browser. And if you see here, I actually still have my website open in a new tab. Now, that only happens if you check this box. So open this link in new browser window. I would always check that personally, because if you don't, this will open over the agent's website. And that's not necessarily the end of the world, but it might be a thing of, well, they don't go back to it because they don't remember how to. So if you leave it open in another tab, it's just another opportunity for somebody to be able to find their website. So you would put the title in there, put the link in there, click save. I'm not going to save it because, it's not a real link. And then that would just automatically be added to your menu here. Now you'll see some that say hidden. Hidden there, hidden right there. If I scroll down, you'll see some more that say hidden down here. Those are hidden, right? So you can see these bottom two, post 107, post 91. If I go over here, those just don't show up on my website. So hidden means exactly what it sounds like. It's not going to show up on your Moxi site, on an agent's Moxi site. This is helpful if maybe it's a seasonal thing, maybe it's a page that they're working on building that's not ready yet. That's probably the most common one I've seen so far, is that the agent is still working on building a page out and they don't really want to show it yet, so they keep it hidden, but it's still easy for them to find. So if you have a page that's hidden and you're like, all right, cool, I'm ready to rock and roll with this, let's put it out there, all you got to do under that post right there is click show. It's pretty easy. Click show, and vice versa. My blog too. I don't really want that because that's a bad title. I'm just going to click hide on that, and now it's hidden. And then that one actually updates automatically. So boom. Again, if we go back to my site here, we'll refresh it, and we're going to watch right over here. It's gone now. My blog too is gone. So I thought I saw a question roll in. So let me click on that chat right there. Ginger asks, is there an open house button we can add? You could make an open house search through the custom search module. I don't want to spend too much time on that because we've got some trainings on that on the classroom. But yes, you could create a custom search for open houses in Traverse City and then copy and paste that into a custom search so that you can see right now I've got Grand Rapids area luxury homes. I've got homes in Rockford. I could change one of those to Grand Rapids open houses by following the custom search instructions. But yeah, you absolutely could. And the nice thing about those custom searches is that they can literally be let's actually show you, we'll do a little bit real quick. If I just search Holland, Michigan real quick, start on a very, very base level. So all of the listings right now in the Holland area are being pulled in. And basically, anything I do in terms of a search, I can make that a custom search on my website. So I could make it as simple as, hey, I want homes in Holland that are just priced, $500 and up. I want it to be, let me find the 500 right there, $500 and up. So boom, now I'm just doing a luxury search. I could go to filters, and I could, make it so it's just condos. I can uncheck everything here, click apply. I'm probably not going to be too many. 93. So boom, now I can do condos in Holland. Or 29, sorry. Condos in Holland. I could go back to my filter and I can say I don't want condos, I just want single family. Or I just want, farm and ranch. Basically, I can only pool, right? I could say pool homes in Holland, something like that. So you can make any custom search you want. You can use the open house button over here. You see on the left-hand side it says open houses, and I can select this weekend, today, etc. Just a few options there. What's Peter want? I am back live on Facebook. Did you hear? Oh, cool. Peter got his Facebook profile back. That's good news. Long story. So you can do that with the custom searches. So let's move on here. So we've got all of our pages. We know how to rearrange them. We know how to hide them. If I click on custom search right here, now that we're talking about this, guys, you can actually see all of the custom searches that you have created in the past. You can add a new one if you want from here. You can delete old ones if there's no need for them, but this is where you can see what you have and add a new one. And since we're already halfway through, let me show you guys how to make a custom search, just as a refresher, especially as some of us are coming back from being out. So let's say I want to do condos like I was saying. I've got condo here. I click apply, and my search right now is for condos in Holland. That's the search. So, all right, what I've done is under custom search, I'm going to click on the left-hand side. You see I clicked custom search, and I'm going to click add new search. And just like when we were adding a new link, guys, we're going to add a title. So what do we want the search to be? Now, this custom search title right here, this is specific to our agents for their own organization, meaning that this will not be publicly seen. So so you can call it what you want, but that being said, I would call it whatever you would want it to be publicly called. So like I'm just going to call this Condos in Holland, or I could do Holland MI Condos. So but I like Condos in Holland for whatever reason. Condos in Holland. So custom search path. This is the tricky part. Basically what this means is what I need to do is go to my search right here, go up to the URL, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. Copy the entire link. It is a long, and then you're going to paste it in here. It is a long, messy link. You'll see that. It's a lot of little symbols that don't mean much. However, if you look at this part, the next line, it says, the path must begin with search /. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to the top, and you can see where it says search / right towards the beginning of my website. I'm going to delete everything else. I'm going to highlight all that and click delete. And now it starts with search /, and then all of this other gobbledygook. And I'm just going to click save, because that's all I need to do. I've got the title, and I've got the search, and boom, now it's done. So now when I go to my custom search list, if I were to just click on that button again, we will now see Condos in Holland right here at the bottom as my most recently added search. Last but not least, let's do the final step of this process, guys. If I were to go to site pages again, just to kind of look at all these pages, and I go to add new, I can from here click on custom search, click on submit, and this is where I would put the actual public title, but again, I'm going to make it Condos in Holland again. There's no reason for me to change it up. So there it is, Condos in Holland. I'm going to pick my Condos in Holland search. I'm going to click save. And just like that, we have added a Condos in Holland site or page to my website. So if we go back to JD's website, voila, there it is at the end of the navigation bar here, Condos in Holland. And if a consumer were to click on that, it would take them right to an always fresh, always updated list of condos in Holland. So if a new listing were added, a day later, that would automatically populate in this list. If something were to go under contract, that would be automatically updated in this list. So that's one of the coolest things with these custom searches, guys. Our agents can make whatever kind of search they want. Let's see. Does it still stay sticky? Yes, it will, Sue. So the only reason we have to remove our website name is because that's the actual text it needs to create the search. But because we're still on my website, if you notice, I clicked the Condos in Holland button. But if you go up to the website up here, you'll see it still says jd-waldvogel.cb Great Lakes. So it will still, no, this is a hard phrase. It will still stay stickied to your name. I'm really proud of myself for getting through that. Okay, so moving on, I want to talk about custom pages because this is going to be one of the biggest things that our agents ask about, because it already has been one of the biggest things our agents ask about, and I just want to give you guys an overview of these custom pages and how to access them, how to create one, and all that other stuff. So a custom page is very self-explanatory in it does what it says in the sense of a custom page is a custom page on Moxi. Where an agent, you can literally start with a blank slate and create a page that has any information that you want. So I don't even know if I actually have any custom pages on my test page right now. Is this one? Yes, so this right here is actually a custom page. Now, you'll notice that this looks a lot like a front page, right? Like a lot like a main screen, like if you were to go to my website, because it's got a search right there. It's got a little video. It's got a picture and a bio, some listing searches, so on and so forth. The cool thing about a custom page, and the cool thing about Moxi as a whole, what we've said from the beginning, is that as far as Moxi websites go, they can be as, for lack of a better word, as generic or as custom as our agents want them to be. If an agent just wants a website set up, they just want their profile there, they want their information there, it's as easy as that for them. They put their information in, their website's set up. But I have for years now, which feels weird, it's been about almost 4 years I've been with the company. For the past few years, I get a lot of people asking, when we had Just Zap or when we had the old CB Great Lakes, I don't really like the way these look. I think I'm going to go with a third, I'm going to have somebody else build a website for me. I want, I'm going to pay for that and I'm going to have them build it so it's custom and I can do what I want. And I understand the sentiment of those agents of wanting something custom, but it's so expensive, thousands of dollars a month in order to sometimes maintain these sites. What I love about Moxi is that an agent could literally make a completely custom website all within Moxi that's mobile responsive, that's as custom as they want, all for free for an agent. They have to put the work in, they have to make sure they get the site the way they want it to be, but they're not going to spend a dime. One of the biggest things with a custom website is that you have to pay to get an MLS feed into your website. And depending on the vendor, that could literally be, I think one of them that I looked at once was $179 per month just for the MLS feed to be built into the site. And what I'd had people do is go, well, I'm just going to link to another search on my I'm going to have my custom site, but I'm going to say click here to search for homes, and it's going to take them to Zap. So I'm like, okay, well, that's the cheap way of doing it, but you're already adding an extra step for your clients. So that's not a really user-friendly site. This has an MLS feed built in for all of our MLSs that we serve, and you can make it as custom as you want. So I truly think that this is a great tool for our agents because they can make a custom website. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and I'm just going to give you an overview because again, this is one of those things where there are so many different things they could do. There are a lot of options available that going through each one would just be monotonous, like a car manual or something like that. So we're just going to go back to the back end of Moxi here, of WordPress. We're going to click on Site Pages again, and we're going to create ourselves a new custom page. So I'm going to click Add New up here, and it's going to default, like we've shown already, to Custom Page, and we're going to click Awesome, yes, I want this. Submit. Come on now. And here's where it's going to take us. So there are two important things here off the bat, guys. Number one, the page title. This is going to be, again, whatever the title of the page is. If you're going to build a new home page, you want to replace the one that you have now, I would literally call this home or homepage. But maybe they want to do a custom page that's all about luxury, or they want to do a more custom bio, or they want to do a homes for dogs oriented page. Maybe let's just do that for the sake of it. Call the page what you want it to be called. Homes for dogs. So that's the first thing, is putting the title in, and then we're going to click on Page Builder down here. Now, actually, one thing you guys will notice real quick, if I zoom in here, when I put the title Homes for Dogs in, that became the link to this page. Now, obviously, this page isn't built and it's not done, but that became the link. jd-waldvogel.cbgreatlakes.com/homes-for-dogs. You can edit that, you can change that if you want to, but they will automatically create a link based off of what you title the page. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. It's one of those kind of just default little settings. So this right here, what we're looking at, this is the same WordPress back-end for every WordPress site. When I worked for the Discovery Channel out in Los Angeles, our main website was built on WordPress. And whenever myself or one of my writers wrote a new article, this is the screen that we would look at to write the new article. So this is, if you've ever had anything to do with WordPress or you ever do again, this is what you're going to see. Now, normally, you'd have two main options you'll see it over here in the right-hand side, visual and text. Visual basically means how the page would appear to the public. So if I put a picture in here, it would show me the full photo. If I put, a bold, if I do check it out, and it works a lot like Microsoft Word where it says check it out, and if I just click the bold right here, it will bold it. So that's visual. If I click text right here, this is coding. This is HTML coding. And this is what very few of us have experience in. I have I have enough to get around, but I am not by any means a coder. But this is where you can code things. Now, the beauty of this is that you can be very, very custom with what you create. However, like I said, you need to have coding experience. You need to know the shortcuts, and you need to know the right way to type things. And that is college courses in and of itself. So Moxi was like, okay, so we could do the visual, which is kind of easy. It's kind of like writing a Word document. We could do text because, if people know how to code, they can do that. But that's still two very complicated options. So they added a third and awesome option, which is called Page Builder. So this is going to be another tab right up here underneath the title of the page. You've got Text Editor, and then you've got Page Builder. So we're going to click Page Builder, and it's going to give you this warning, especially if you're using Chrome, where it's basically like, hey, you're leaving the site. Is that okay? That's okay. Click Leave, and it's going to launch the Page Builder program. So this is where, again, the clue's in the title. We are building a custom page in Page Builder. We can start from scratch. You can see right here what we're looking at is literally a blank slate. I've got nothing here. So if I click the plus in the upper right-hand corner, this is going to show me all of the options I have in order to create my page. So I could start from scratch and just start pulling stuff in, which I'll show you in a second. But I also want to show you that up here you'll see modules, you'll see rows, and then you'll see templates. And if I click templates, they have a bunch of real estate specific templates already created. So what I could do is I could take, theoretically, let's just go with cashmere right here as an example. Click that cashmere, and boom, now I've got a template in here, that I could go in and make edits to with my own information. And it's still going to take the time, to go in and replace things and write it out and change photos if I want to. But I'm not starting from scratch. I have a bunch of stuff here. So, just for an example, it's time to own your own dreams. Maybe I want to change that and just type, the key to a successful transaction or something like that, right? So I still have like a bold kind of title in there, but I can save and edit what I want that to be. So, and again, in order to access those, you can click the plus up here, and then all of these templates are here. And if I were to click on this one, I'm going to just replace it. Yes, I know. I understand what's going on here. And boom, now I've got this new template that I can mess around with. Now, depending on, this happens a lot, I'm sure we all know, depending on your Wi-Fi connection, depending on your internet speed or where you are, sometimes the templates can take a couple seconds to load, but once they load, you're good to go. So you can see, these photos are still kind of popping up because our internet's been real slow today. So you can start from a template. It's probably the easier thing to do for an agent. I mean, let's just click this main one here. If I click replace existing template, if I click this main one, this one's great. I can change the photo back here. I can change the text up here. The way you're going to want to do most of these things, guys, is literally just start hovering over things. Again, search properties. You see if I hover over that and I click on it, I can change the heading from search properties to find your dream home today. Exclamation mark. And if I click over to, I'm going to make sure I'm right on this. You see this one? See, this one saying I might have actually lied to you. Nope. I can center it. So this is where things get a little bit messy, because this is where there's just screens. There's just menus. And this is why I would recommend, when you have, free time, go in and make a custom page just so you can get familiar with all the things that I'm looking at right now. So what I did was I clicked on the text, and this box over here automatically popped up. And right here where it says heading, I just typed what I wanted in, and then I clicked style, and then font, and this is where I was able to choose how I aligned it, right, left, or center. And then I just click save. And if I want to change the font, I can say I want this to be, what do we got? Oh, we got so many fonts. What's Acme look like? Yeah, a little bit playful. It's not necessarily Looney Tunes here, but it's kind of cool. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to click save. So again, this is where I'd say, I believe that a lot of these things are things that you will just get better at the more you play with it, which is why I do recommend kind of going in and playing around. Sue asks, are there templates that don't have a search bar? For example, if you wanted to do a custom page for property development. Let's find out, Sue. I believe the answer is yes. Yeah, so I clicked on templates. I can just keep scrolling down. Of course, everyone starts calling once the training starts, when no one calls for the hours leading up to this. I'm going to go to templates, and if I scroll down here, there are a bunch. There are a bunch of about us ones you can see here. You can see a recruiting based one, neighborhood. Maybe that's kind of what you're looking for. But again, they gave titles to these. So single listing, neighborhood Manhattan, neighborhood Beaumont. Just because they call it that doesn't mean that's what the use has to be. For example, if I click on this neighborhood Beaumont and I go, oh man, I love this format. I love having a photo with some text here, and then I love the format of like the 3 paragraphs and the 3 photos once it actually loads, fills in. Then just use that format for whatever your purpose is. If you want to do it for a new construction development, perfect. Call it Capitol Hill. Call it Capitol Hill. Holland's newest development. I know I spelled it wrong. I butchered that word. It's gonna bug me. So boom, now you're just using this format how you want to use it. So again, templates are literally just that. They're templates. Use them how you see fit for your purposes. But again, just because you have a template, maybe I go, you know what, this is a cool template, but you know what would be really cool? I would love, no, I don't want to delete it. I'd love a video right here after this main screen, but before these paragraphs. I want a YouTube video to play. Guess what you can do? You click on the plus up here, and now we're going to go back to modules, the very first option. You can take a pre-existing template and then edit it and make it custom. So I can drag over a video here, and I'm dragging it, and you can see it's going to say, where do you want to place it? It's going to give you a bunch of options. I'm just going to place it right here after the big thing there. So this is actually a great thing. How do I bring a video in from YouTube? I'm going to show you. Let's just do one of the open house videos. So I'm just going to go to our YouTube channel, scroll down to one of our open house. We have a bunch of recruiting videos up there if you couldn't tell. And I'm going to go to the Michigan, because we're making a Michigan page, the Michigan virtual open house video. So there's one extra step that we actually need to take, because if you'll notice, when we're, let me get out of there. When we're here, it's asking to embed the video. So we can't just copy and paste the YouTube link. So there's just one extra step we're going to take, guys. So we're going to go to the video. We're going to click on share right here, right underneath the video itself, share. And then you'll see right there it says embed. The very first option, before even Facebook, embed. So you're going to click on that. It's going to give you all the text over here, but all you got to do is click copy right here in the lower right-hand corner of this box. Click copy. I'm going to go back to my page, and I'm just going to paste it in. And before I even save it, you can see the video has already populated. Boom. I click save, and now I've taken a template and customized it a little bit. So, and I think one of the things you just said, Stu, is that the possibilities are endless. They truly are. Yeah, endless possibilities. I 100% agree, and that's why I love it so much. I can make whatever I want on this. I can make a custom page, like you said, about a development. I can make a custom page about JD. I can make a custom home page instead of using the, let me go back to, actually, no, I gotta do this. Going to my site. instead of using the templated homepage, which I still think is great, especially for agents who don't want to put any extra work in, I think this is a nice page. But if I want to customize it, I have unlimited control. So that leads us to the next point. If we were to start from scratch, and I'm actually not going to go back and like erase everything that I've done, but if I had a blank slate here, guys, or if I wanted to add more custom things, if I click on this plus again, we're always going to go back to this plus. These modules and rows are going to be how we can take specific things in. For example, you saw that we already pulled in a video earlier. That was great. We can pull in any number of things here. So again, I'm going to show you a couple things, and there's going to be a lot of screens, so I really do recommend playing around here. When you click on modules, it's going to default to standard modules. This is going to be a lot of stuff that would be very standard to any website. Meaning, I could pull in a video like I just did. Maybe I want some space between my video here and these paragraphs. So I'm going to take a separator right here, and I'm going to drag a separator, and that's just going to give me a line here. Yes, okay, that's fine. I'm not even doing that yet. It's just going to give me more space between my paragraphs and my video. But you're still thinking, okay, well, these are all fine and dandy, but JD, what about the real estate modules? So right up here at the top, you'll see where it says standard modules. I'm going to click down to widgets right here. And this is where we have a lot of real estate related stuff. So maybe under my video here, I want one of that condo search that I created earlier, that custom search for condos. Well, if you click here, you'll see it says custom searches module. Or you've got other things here. You've got your broker's logo, neighborhood news, property searches, so on and so forth. So you've got more options. But I'm going to just pull this custom searches module in, put it right here, wait for it to load in its own sweet time. I think this other one that I try to put in there is having an issue, so let me try to refresh it real quick. Just give us a little bit of a break. All this to say is that while we try to get it back up on the screen, there are regular website items that we have, meaning you can add a video, you can add a gallery of photos, you can add a bunch of this stuff. I'm just going to ruin it all. But you can also have the real estate specific stuff. So that means we can add let's try this again and see if we can add go to add. I'm going to change standard modules to widgets. And then I'm going to choose custom searches, drag that down right here in the middle. Perfect. So it's going to ask me, okay, first of all, what do you want the title to be? And I want my title to be Condos in Holland. Whoops. Condos in Holland. And then I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to change my custom search. Where is it? Right there, my Condos in Holland search, the one that I wanted, that we just created. And we'll see once it loads here, boom, there's my Condos in Holland search already pre-populated with listings scrolling. And you can, just to make it more complicated, number of rows, 1, number of columns, 3. Just to show you what we can do, I want 2 rows and I want 4 columns. So you'll see, boom, now we're going to have 2 rows of 4 columns. So again, you can do what you want to do with these. So I'm going to go ahead and make it 1 row. I just like 1 row, but I do want 4 listings to show up. So just like that, I've taken one template that we already had, and I've added a video, and I've added the condos right there. So if I go to the plus, again, you can see all of the different things we have. The neighborhood news module, a contact me module, featured properties, my contact details. All of these things are things we can pull over. Let's see what we have under page builder add-ons. So again, even more stuff here. The options again are endless. It would take forever to go through each one of these things individually. But we can add so many cool things to make these pages as custom as we want. For the sake of time, because we're already at 40 minutes, I'm going to kind of move on to the last part of the conversation that I want to share with you guys. But like I said, I really would recommend going in and playing with some of this stuff, because this will allow you to help the agents build custom pages. And we've had Moxi rolled out for a few months now. Don't forget to click publish, obviously. We've had Moxi rolled out for a few months now, and I would say I've seen I don't know if I'd say 50-50, but I've seen a lot of agents kind of just do the normal thing, and I've seen a lot of agents want to do the custom pages. And you know your office and your areas better than anyone else. So you're going to know the agents who are going to want to make these custom pages. And you're going to know the agents who are going to want to not do custom pages and just keep the generic ones or the kind of templated ones. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. You know, if you've got an agent who loves what they have, cool. Maybe you show them at a sales meeting, but we don't need to make them do anything that they don't want to do. But if an agent comes to you and says, I want to, you know, like you said, Sue, someone says, you know, I've got a new development that I'm going to be the lead agent on, and I'd love to have a custom page for that development, you'll know where to start. You'll know that you can make a custom page, choose a template, swap out some of the photos, and make it the way you want it to be. So let's say the last thing I wanted to show you guys, I'm going to go back to my website real quick. Let's say I wanted to take that custom page and actually make that my home page, so that if somebody went to jd-waldvogel.cb Great Lakes, they didn't see this, they saw the custom page that I wanted them to see, which I think for the sake of it, let's just say it was this one right here. This is what I want. This is such a nice photo. This is what I wanted them to see. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Back here, we're in the back end of Moxi again. We're going to click where it says personalize your homepage. We're going to click the go there. You could also click on homepage on this left bar. It'll take you to the exact same place, but I'm going to click the go there because these common tasks are the easiest things to do. Or maybe I did do the wrong thing already. I did do the wrong thing, guys. Let's go back to home. Ignore what I just said. Let's make sure. We'll cut this out of the edit. Click on personalize your site style. Yes, that's what we want to do. So we want to click on personalize your site style. It's the very first option on this common tasks. Personalize your site's style. We're going to click go there. So we've got 3 options for our home pages. An agent has 3 options for their home pages. The first one is what it defaults to, is kind of what you just saw on mine. You've got the logo up here, find your dream home, with the big search, and then my agent info right underneath. The second one's called agent focused, where it's a little bit different. They kind of move that agent info right above the search bar. So the first thing you see is my name, my information, and still the search bar. I don't love this one. I totally get why someone would want it. I don't love it. So I would normally stick with search focus if I'm going to do a templated one. But I can also click on custom right here. So I'm going to say, hey, I want my custom page to be my home page. And I'm going to click custom, and then it's going to give me a list of all of my custom pages. So the one that we were just looking at is the one that I called JD Waldvogel Realtor. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm just going to click publish. And again, these changes are automatic. This is not like a wait 15 minutes sort of a thing. So now watch. If I go to jd-waldvogel.cbgreatlakes.com, if I just go to my website, next thing you know, boom, this is my new main page. All I had to do was switch it over from, I literally just said, I don't want this, I want custom, and I want this page, and I click publish, and now that custom page I created is my home page. So anybody who goes to my website is going to see this first. So that's why, that is one of the, I mean, again, and don't get me started on how great Engage is as a CRM and how great Presentations is as a tool for listing appointments and showings and whatnot. But the website alone, you can make so many cool custom pages. You can do so many things with it that you can't do with Zap, that you couldn't do with our old CB Great Lakes or CB Florida Homes or CB Schmidt, Ohio. You can make the most custom thing you want, add blogs, add testimonials, add custom searches, and you can put it without paying an extra fee at all. It's all complimentary to the agents. So that's a full 45 right now, guys. And again, the idea here, at least from my end and from Carrie's end, was to show you WordPress a little bit, show you the back end of this stuff, and then also just get you at least mildly comfortable with a custom page, because I really think it's one of those things where if an agent comes to you and is like, do you know how I could do blah, blah, blah? And you're like, yeah, let me show you. And you made a custom page for them, or you help them make a custom page. It's like going above and beyond. They're going to love the options of what we can do with it. And it's just a really, really great website tool. So you guys have any questions on what we went over? Is there anything that I didn't really go over that you have any questions on that I can I can show real quick? Doesn't seem to really be any. Carrie, is there anything that you wanted me to touch on or wanted to go over while we've got time here?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. We just really appreciate the ASC supporting their agents.
Yeah.
This great new project.
Yeah. And we're also aware, guys, as always, that this is still new. I've had agents within the past week reach out and go, what is Moxi? Literally, what is Moxi? And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, Amy, I saw that look. I agree with you on that one. So, but you know what? That's part of the job, right? So we're going to show them, what they have available, what we can do for them. And if you guys ever run into anything that you don't have the answer to, again, on this call, Elizabeth is on here, Judy is on here, Carrie is on here. Reach out to any of us, anybody on your team for Moxi, and we'll find the answer for you. So I'll wrap it up, and that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, let me know. But go out there and make a custom page. Play around with it. There's some really cool things you can do. So thank you, guys, and until next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.